So today what we're doing is a Red Sox realistic rebuild. They've been one of those, I would say they were the surprise team of last year. I don't think a lot of people were expecting them to make the postseason and do as well as they did. And it looks like Heimblum is definitely doing something. He's working his magic with the team. And you can see like things are going pretty well. I still feel like they're a couple pieces away from being a real World Series competitor. So let's get into it. Let's do a realistic rebuild with them. I hope you enjoyed. Of course, if you do, thumbs up. If you're new here, consider hitting that subscribe button. And of course, in the comments section, let me know who you think the 2022 surprise team is going to be. Let me know your thoughts down there. All right, let's keep moving with this. Where are the Red Sox? There they are. DH on. We'll turn this off. We'll turn the contracts off as well, because I'm thinking we're gonna go maybe 4 years, so maybe till 2025. Maybe that's where we head to, unless we win a World Series and we've kind of accomplished everything that we needed to do. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the scouting done, get to the draft, do the draft, and I'll see you guys in the off season. Just because this year is over, I feel like we shouldn't really count this year as a year to really build with the team or make any trades or anything. So let's get to the offseason. I'll see you in a sec. All right, so all of our exclusive negotiations didn't bring them back. So Schwarber, a couple other pitchers, players that just didn't come back to the Red Sox in real life. And I'm looking at this going, what do we do? I feel like it's okay, but like it definitely could be maybe a little bit better. I feel like this area, I'm not 100% like certain they can get the job done. You know what I mean? Like Eovaldi, Tanner Houck, not too bad for 2-3. Chris Sale, definitely a guy you want at the top of the rotation. 100% need some bullpen. Holy cow, we need some help there. And then we take a look at the lineup. Bogarts, Verdugo, JD Martinez isn't going to improve too much more. If anything, he's going to go down. But this is the last year of his deal. Let's just see it out. Devers, I want to try to keep as long as possible. Obviously, Bogarts isn't going anywhere with the extension that he's signed. And then first base is a little bit of a question mark. Second base, we do have Kike, but I don't really know how much more he's going to be able to hold his rating / improve. So I think it's also the last year of his deal too. So second base could become an issue. Right field, Jarren Duran or Verdugo. I don't really know how they're going to play these two. I know Verdugo played a lot of left field last year, but then the year before he played a lot of right field. So I don't know where he's going to end up going. I guess I could look it up and just kind of see like where they're gonna play him. So currently they have him in right field. Okay, and they have Kike in left. Second base is Arroyo. What about, let's check Fangraphs, see what they have for the depth chart. See what they've got going on here. Let me see. Where is it? Depth chart. Okay, so they're going to have Verdugo in right. All right, so and then they have Duran in left and then JBJ in center. I never really understood that JBJ trade. I'm not going to lie. That was a weird one. That was strange. I know Renfroe becomes a free agent, I think, next season, but so does JBJ. I don't know. I just felt like that was a weird trade. I know they got Alex Benelis in the trade, which he could end up being a pretty decent first or third baseman, but like, I don't know. But let's talk about free agency. So starting pitching, I'm not really liking any of the options available. Lee Koo was someone I actually drafted, but then I just released because he had deep potential. So if anything, he's going to go down. Speaking of players that I drafted, we have Curtis Terry, a closer. Got good hits per 9, walks per 9. Control's a little low, but we'll see how he develops. Mejia is probably the best one of them all. Can play catcher. I don't know if he's going to end up playing catcher. He could just be an okay left fielder for us, especially with those hitting stats. And then that way we can move Duran to center field. But we'll have to wait and see how that turns out. We've got the catcher Corona out of the Netherlands. And then Robbie Pechtl, starting pitcher with A potential. He looks like he's a project. So let's just kind of see what we can find. Pitching-wise, we're probably... I'll pick him up, even though I feel like he isn't going to be used anytime. I really want to strengthen the bullpen. I feel like the bullpen is a huge target for me. I'm not going to go after someone like a Keone Kela, but I might have to go after someone like a Keone Kela. I really don't know what the Red Sox are going to do. Like that whole JBJ trade kind of threw me for a loop. I don't think they're bringing back Schwarber. Would they bring in someone like a Rizzo or a Brad Miller? Is it? Man, I'm so torn. Do they need an outfielder? Do they go after an outfielder? Is that the play? Like, I'm looking at the depth chart, you know, and I'm seeing this, and I see Duran, I see JBJ, and I see Verdugo. Your fourth choice outfielder is Kike, and then after that, it's a little You've got Bogarts, Kike, Arroyo for like the middle infield area. You've got Devers and Dahlbeck at first, and then Vasquez behind the plate. I feel like the bench, you're kind of lacking there. And so then you look at the starters, you know, Michael Walker, Rich Hill was signed. You got Paxton, Houck. Like, the starters look okay. Like, that's not a terrible area. And then you've got like Whitlock. The bullpen, I feel like the bullpen could use a little bit of help. And I just feel like maybe some bench bats. I feel like I'm looking at this depth chart that they've got going on. I feel like some bench bats could be used. So where do we turn for some bench bats? I don't want to sign all the players that weren't signed from the draft. I feel like that's just kind of meh. But would someone like a Jace Peterson be a possibility? Like, I haven't really heard anything about Jack this offseason. Like, if he's going back to the Braves, if he's going to go somewhere else. Just haven't heard anything at all about the situation. So who could we go to? It sounds weird, but like Donovan Solano, or maybe like a Rizzo to play first. I haven't really heard much about Rizzo either. So that's, or a Brad Miller. Like, a Brad Miller, I feel like kind of fits that. He can play multiple positions. He's got a decent bat. Brad Miller, you know what? For a season, I feel like that's a move. That's a move. We'll give him $6 million. We'll give him $6 million. And then the bullpen is something I want to attack, but I don't really like anybody that's here. I'm not going to bring back Ottavino. I don't want Brad Hand. Unless they're like, you know what? Let's give Brad Hand a shot. We'll start him in the minors, get his confidence up. We'll sign Brad Hand. Sure, why not? And then I don't really know what else to do realistically. You know, I'm looking at some of these outfield options. I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe Eddie Rosario. I'm like, man, they really do need an extra outfielder. But I feel like we're stuck here. Maybe they're gonna rock with another infielder. Ooh, I don't really know what they're doing. Maybe bring back Brock Holt. I don't know. I have to think about this for a sec. I feel like the Red Sox aren't going to make a big splash this offseason, so I'm going to stick with Brad Miller, Brad Hand, Josh Ruff, that prospect. And then I threw in Jose Iglesias just as a little bit more depth. I just feel like none of the big names make sense for the Red Sox. You know, Brandon Belt, Correa, Chris Bryant, Trevor Story, and then like the rest of the options are a little low. I considered Rizzo. I still am kind of considering Rizzo on a 1-year deal. I don't think it's too far-fetched. They are in the market for a first baseman, I would assume, based on what they have. I'm going to go in for Rizzo. As you can see, a couple players that I put on waivers / release them are going to other teams. Brad Hand goes to the Red Sox. Oh, no. Brad Hand went to the Athletics. He chose not to go to the Red Sox. And it seems like we've got everybody else that we wanted. So most of them were offensive options, though, so it's not like we really changed too much pitching wise, which is kind of where I wanted to attack the most. But like, there just aren't many good pitching options. That's where the issue is. I mean, I could probably bring back Hansel Robles, but at the same time, I just feel like that's a waste. So I feel like we're kind of stuck here and just kind of hoping that maybe once we get past arbitration, Trevor Story goes to the Angels. That's kind of a big move. But once we get here, maybe some more names became available, like Chris Davinsky. But outside, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like we're kind of, I don't know. I feel like maybe just sign some random relievers. Let's just do that. We're just going to sign some random relievers and hope one of them does well, because otherwise we're in a little bit of trouble. That's really what it comes down to. We're just in a little bit of trouble. Let's see here. Do we go back to Hansel Robles? You know what? For a season, 2.5 mil, 2.6 mil. Can't go too bad, right? It can't go that bad. It can't. And I think offensively, I think that's just kind of it. I mean, I just don't really see us going after any of these other options that become available. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. You know, like I'm looking at them, you know, like Dom Smith. If he were to become available, maybe. But at the same time, it just doesn't seem like it'd be a fit, you know? So yeah, I don't know. I'm looking at all these different options and I'm just not liking any of them. I really am not. Just no, you know. So let's leave it there. I mean, there's still a lot of work to be done with this team, but this is all about keeping it realistic, and the bullpen's the big issue. Like, that's kind of where I'm at. Like, it's like I really need some bullpen help, and we're not getting it. So let's get to the Rule 5 draft. Let's see what becomes available. Maybe we're able to snag somebody there. And we are in Caleb Ferguson, but I just feel like he's not someone that would be available. Let's see. Let's go Taylor Williams. I get him often, but let's just go with him. And then we're just going to leave the rest of the picks. And I think that's our offseason. Correa goes to the Angels as well. So Story and Correa both go to the Angels. Interesting. And I think that's it. I got to fill some spots with the coaching staff. But, man, we just not a good offseason. Okay, so as we head into the season, this is currently what we're looking like. I mean, I think this would be a team that would perform well in real life. Like, they would have those matchups. They would just, you know, they'd have a little bit of an edge about them. Do I think they'd be a World Series team? Definitely not. But I definitely think this is a playoff team. You know, Brad Miller comes in. We've got, hold on. No, flip those two around. Good thing I caught that. But the JBJ thing just really ruined it for me. Good thing he becomes a free agent this year. And that was actually something that I noticed with this team a lot, was that a lot of players become free agents this year. JD Martinez, Eovaldi, JBJ, Paxton, obviously Rizzo, we signed him. I think Matt Barnes is actually a free agent this year. I looked at his contract. I think I may have added an extra year on accident when I edited the contract in. So I think he becomes a free agent this year, but I would assume I would bring him back based on the fact that he probably would be good. We'll have to wait and see how things go. And yeah, a lot of players become free agents this year. So it's looking like if things don't go well this year, that we would kind of go a little bit crazy in free agency. I don't mean going out and spending like Texas Rangers, Corey Seager, and Marcus Semien type money, but we'd at least be able to find, you know, players that we could bring in, you know, fill those holes that we have. So, you know, we're talking about some of the prospects that we have. We do have Brian Mata. We do have Thad Ward. We do have Tristan Casas. You know, Bobby Dahlbeck's chilling here in the minors right now, but realistically, he could be called up. He could be called up. He should be called up. You know, Blaze Jordan, Jeter Downs, Marcelo Meyer as well. You know, there's definitely some names we got to look forward to, or we got to look towards, like, get them in the team. But right now, I don't know. I just don't have a good feeling about this team. I really don't. So let's just get to it. And at the deadline, if we need to make moves, I'll make them. But I don't know. If we don't make the playoffs, it wouldn't surprise me. All right, so we're 5 games out of the wild card, and I feel like we're really not that far off. You know, I'm looking at our pitching. Tanner Houck struggling a little bit. Same with Paxton. I would like to get a starter. Just kind of someone like a Paxton. Someone that's like contracts expiring. Something like that. Just to come in and help us out. Just because Brian Mata's having a great season. I just don't think the control and walks per 9 are ready yet. I would like to let him develop the rest of the season in AAA and then give him a shot next year. But for right now, I'm just not there yet. And I think Thad Ward's kind of in the same spot. Let's let him finish the year in AAA, and then we'll call him up next year. I think bringing in just someone, you know, maybe like a Michael Walker, a James Paxton, a Pivetta, someone whose contract's expiring, that's really the best solution. I've shaken up the bullpen a little bit. I still think we could use a little bit of some help in the bullpen. Just players are struggling. We could reach into the minors as well, but I just feel like if we really want to make that push, we need to bring in a little bit of help. And then offensively, hit and miss. There's some good players and then there's some not good players. So I feel like since we are kind of in the race, we might as well go out and get somebody. I just don't know who. I've looked and I maybe Minter, but I feel like Minter is someone that the Braves are going to keep moving forward. So like Miguel Castro? Are the Cardinals in the mix? They are. They're in first. So why would they be trading away? So maybe we look at the Cubs, maybe we look at the Pirates. You know, the Padres, the Diamondbacks, the Marlins, the Nationals. Let's just kind of see what they have available, because we could definitely use just somebody from them. So let's see here. Someone whose contract's expiring. So who would I say? The Nationals or the Cubs? Let's see. I think most of these guys have arbitration or something. Is he being used? He is. Who has an expiring contract that we could look into? He does. I'm in on him. I would assume they would want something in return that's like a player that they could use going forward, or a low to mid-level prospect. I would assume like a lower prospect. So let's give them, let's see, who could we throw them? Honestly, I'm not going to use him. I'm just not. He's having a great year in AAA. But with Jeter Downs, Marcelo Meyer, Anthony Flores, I feel like we've got that position kind of sorted. So I'll give them a Rouse for Whistler or Weisler, and that could be a decent little pickup for us. I feel like that works. And then that automatically strengthens up the bullpen, and we can get rid of Williams immediately. I think I'm going to have to release him because he was a Rule 5 pick. I feel like then we have to trade him, but like, who's going to take him? You know what I mean? So it's so dumb that like at that point we have to send him back. So, all right, whatever. I guess he's clearing waivers. And what else did I want? I wanted a starter, but I don't really know. Maybe Reynaldo Lopez. How's he doing? He's actually doing well. So like, I don't see why he's on the trade block. That doesn't make any sense to me at all. Brad Keller, not interested. Lorenzen is, yeah, Reynaldo Lopez is, and he's got a year of team control. But like, why are they trading him? That makes no sense. And they're in first. If anything, I'm looking at like the Royals, the Indians, the Mariners, the Angels, Nationals, Marlins, Pirates, Cubs, Padres, Diamondbacks. But I don't think any of those guys have a pitcher that I want, unless the Padres like to wheel and deal. And if they're not doing well, I would assume they're trying to clear house. You know what I mean? I would assume that would be the case. A Clevenger as well. I'm kind of interested in Musgrove though. But I would assume they would want someone kind of big in return, and I don't really want to give up a lot at the deadline. That's what I'm kind of trying to avoid. I just want to pick up someone that, you know, expires at the end of the year, would be kind of cheap, someone that I'm just not having to trade a top prospect for. That's really what it is. So if like Hendricks would work, Zach Davies is getting roughed up, so I don't want to go after him. Joe Ross is a free agent. Would the Nationals keep Joe Ross? I don't know if they would. That's an interesting one. I'm kind of interested on that one. I kind of am. I feel like that's my pickup. Unless, how's Mike Minor doing? Kind of good. All right, I'm gonna go after Mike Minor. Like I said, someone that shouldn't cost too much at all. I'll give him Connor Wong, and they can also have Joni Pereda. Nope, they don't want Joni Pereda. They can have Freddie Valdez. Okay, just kidding. Cameron. It was Cameron. What about Cutter Crawford? Or who do they want? Akemi? I don't really want to give them anything much more. I'll give them Michael Geddes, and we'll take that. All right. Like I said, nothing too crazy. He might suck, and we might be in a little bit of trouble, but let's just rock with it. So let's send down. You know what? Honestly, let's just go like this. Let's go Minor as here, and I'll put James Paxton over here, and then we're gonna have an extra pitcher, which means offensively, JBJ is a player that I want to send down so bad, but Iglesias isn't doing great. That's our team. We don't really have an outfielder, but we do have LeCastro. I know a lot of deals, but realistically, we're not too far out of the playoffs. Let's do it. Let's see how it plays out. So we made it as a wild card spot, wild card team. That's what I should say. 88 and 74. So, okay. You know what? I'm okay with that. That's what I was kind of assuming. I also kind of assumed we weren't going to make the postseason. So I will take it. As you can see, we're 12 games out behind the Blue Jays. We're currently ranked 15th. Pitching is definitely an area I want to improve. I also want to add a couple offensive pieces. We're going to have the money to do it. I feel like this is our chance to really push this team to the next level. So that's what we're gonna try to do, or that's what we're gonna try to do. Kike and Verdugo, Gold Glove, and then we got Rookie of the Year for Jarren Duran. Vlad is your MVP. Acuna on the other side. Corbin Burns and Cole are your Cy Young winners, with Jack Flaherty. Wow, whew, that's a nice season right there. Holy cow. Let's see. Batting title went to Vlad Jr. Tyler Stevenson. With the batting title, interesting, he hit almost 350. Kenley Jansen had a great season, along with Andrew Chafin, Nick Anderson as well. Rookie of the year, like we said, went to Jarren Duran. He had a really good season. Wow. Like a really, really good season. Like that's a nice season. I'm actually excited about that. Really quickly going through the league leaders so you just can see what was going on. As per usual, Ramon Urias goes to the Yankees. What a surprise. Just seems to happen all the time. But outside of that, some pretty good names there. Okay, pitching rotation. Besides Michael Wacha, who honestly had a really good season. I'm pretty happy with what he did. I will take that for sure. Let's see, any relievers get sent down? It looks like Brad Peacock got sent down. Had a little bit of a rough season for sure. Ryan Brazier, only 30 innings pitched, but numbers were a little high. I know Sawamura got sent down, and then Whitlock. Whitlock had a great year. Why are we sending him down? Why are we sending down Whitlock? It also looks like his potential went up as well. So who came up? Darwinzon, just not yet. Maybe next year, but just not yet. And so I think that was it. I think we will have an extra long reliever, but that's what we wanted. Maybe flip. Hold on. Whitlock was here. Did Michael Feliz? So who else got sent down? Oh, Peacock. Oh, I need to send down Mata as well, and I need to call up Wacha. And then Mata, like I said, we'll get a chance next year. I feel like that's definitely a move that we need to do. Paxton struggled a little bit. I don't plan on bringing him back. Chris Sale, solid. We have him for another 2 years. Eovaldi was good, just not $17 million. I think maybe 15, 10. I know 17 is only two off 15, but 12, 15, something like that. I just feel like he's actually going to go down because he only has C potential. When you look at Tanner Houck, the ERA is a little high. Outside of that, all of his numbers, the whip's pretty solid. So good move going forward. Minor was just looking for him to fill out the rest of the season. And then Nick Pivetta. So again, I would like to add some pitchers for sure. Offensively, it looks like a couple players got sent down. JBJ, I knew that was going to happen. LeCastro. Dahlbeck, not great either. Rizzo only played in 50 games, but great 50 games. Plawecki, really good numbers. Iglesias was pretty lackluster. Same with Brad Miller. Franchi got called up as well. And then Arroyo facing only lefties. A little bit of a disappointment. So there's that. Verdugo. Okay. We'll see what happens moving forward. It's okay. It's okay. It's not great, but it's not bad. It's not bad. Xander Bogaerts, pretty solid. Actually, a good year. Really good year. Same thing with JD Martinez. Devers was really good. What else we got? Jarren Duran was really good this year. One of our best offensive players. Christian Vasquez was okay. And then back to the top. So let's get our normal players. I guess we got to have JBJ up for the postseason, right? Let's see. Iglesias wasn't fantastic. I guess we can rock like that. I guess that's the team. So Brad Miller here, Franchi here, and then most likely Jarren Duran there. I guess that's the team we're rocking with. That is not something I really like, but I guess we do it. I guess we do it. That's what we got to do. All right, postseason time. Let's see what happens. We win. Oh, we beat the Rays. All right, nice. Wasn't expecting that at all. Not at all. Not at all. Okay, let's keep moving forward, and we advance to the next. Oh, okay. So now it was Pivetta pitching. We have Pivetta pitching. So let's just move maybe Sale, Eovaldi, Houck, Minor. Yeah, let's go like that. What is going on with this team? Okay, we finally get swept. All right, fair enough. Again, not bad. ALCS, we did get swept. Not how you want to end the season, but the Brewers defeat the White Sox in the 2022 World Series. And now we lose Jack Lopez. That's all right. Miggy retires. Where do we go from here? Right? Lot of options. Like look at I told you we were gonna have a lot of free agents. Christian Vasquez. He's been a Red Sox his whole career, right? I don't know. I really don't. I don't know about Kike either. I think let's move on from him. Eovaldi, probably gonna move on from him. I think this was a really good pickup for us. I'm going to go another 1-year deal, but I'll give him 6.5. I feel like that's kind of what's going on with relievers right now. 1-2 year deals. James Paxton was okay, but I feel like we could do better. Rizzo's probably going to stick around this rating. I mean, we could keep him, but I'd really like to give Dahlbeck, Tristan Casas a shot as well. So I think just moving on from Rizzo is probably the best bet. JD Martinez, I might be able to get one more year out of him as a DH, and then realistically the rest can probably just walk. I know Hansel Robles was decent for a year. He's 32 though, so I want to see what other options are there. He was good though. He was really good, but let's just kind of see what happens, right? I feel like we just got to wait, and I don't know. I feel like, do we have anybody else? We really don't. I just still want to wait. I want to wait and see what happens. So let's get to the offseason. Let's see how much money we have, and then let's go start signing players. All right, heading into the offseason, this is kind of what we've got going on. We've got a lot of money to play with, over 150 mil, or about 150 mil, I should say. It's actually less than 150 mil now that I looked at it a little bit more. Pitching. I do have Brian Mata up. Honestly, these two are probably my 4-5. I would like to get a 3, maybe even a better 2. Tanner Houck's good, but I would like to really improve this team. I think the bullpen, I think it was pretty good. Matt Barnes kind of sucked. He kind of sucked. We got him for another year. I will work with it. But realistically, I think the bullpen may be an arm, but I would like to bring in a solid 3. Someone that just slots right into the rotation, and I'm not going to have to worry about him. I'm also thinking of bringing up Thad Ward to be our long reliever. But at the same time, I really would like to bring in some starting pitching depth. That's where I feel like we're lacking the most. If I show you who we drafted this year, Joaquin Murillo, see potential starter. We've got Valenzuela, another outfielder, but looking at him more with the speed and the contact, it says he can play first. I don't know. I really don't know what to do with him. Probably first, maybe left, maybe DH. I don't know. We've got Murillo, like I said. We got Vasquez, who's a reliever. We've got another left fielder who doesn't look fantastic at all. And then we've got Blum, who's 44 overall, so we're not going to see him. So there's that. Lineup. So we've got right field. I want to move Verdugo down in the order. He just not a leadoff guy, right? We've got Duran, who I think is going to be great for us, by the way. Like, great. Center field or right field or left field, wherever he ends up, he's set. I'm not bringing back JBJ, just not worth it. I'm not bringing back any really old names that I had besides JD Martinez. He's going to stay our DH. So we've got these 3. We've got these 2. Franchi realistically is not a guy that I'm looking to keep. So I'm thinking maybe like Duran in left, Verdugo in right. We find a center fielder. There's a center fielder available. There's multiple center fielders available. First base is probably going to be Dahlbeck or Casas. So second base, do we go Jeter Downs? Do we go Marcelo Meyer? Or do we just try to find someone that can fill the gap for another season or 2? And then what's the other position that I'm missing? First, second. Why can I not think of this right now? Hold on. What is catcher? Catcher. All right. Let's talk about that. Starters. Solid 3. Trevor Williams could be it. We've got Joe Ross. How did he finish off the year? A 4. Wow. He had a 3.5 ERA at the deadline, a 3.3 ERA at the deadline. That was actually, I saw that name and I was like, that could be the guy. I don't think Musgrove's going to improve much more. Sevy kind of out of the picture. Syndergaard could be a guy, could definitely be a target. Nola as well. That would be a huge pickup though. Would the Red Sox do that with the Sale contract still on the board? Maybe they could. I got to look at what the other contract situations are for like Verdugo. Obviously Devers becomes a free agent this year as well. That's a player that I know becomes a free agent. That's a guy I want to lock up. What's Verdugo's contract? He's a couple years away. I think we could afford a big contract. Well, Devers basically replaces JD Martinez contract. Maybe not. Maybe. I just don't think Musgrove's going to improve much more, which worries me that like he's only going to give us like a year or 2 of being okay, if that. Is Joe Ross going to improve? Is that a guy that I want to try to give this? You know what? Let's go 3 years for him. And if anything, long reliever, right? Long reliever for us. And what does Syndergaard want? 31? I can't do that. It's just too much money. I know I said I wanted to spend money and improve the team, but I still got to be sensible about the moves that we make. Catcher. This was another reason why I don't want to spend a lot of money, because I know we're going to have to spread the money around a couple different positions. Realistically, it just looks like we're going back to Christian Vasquez, but 16 mil is Stupid amount of money. Like, it wasn't a bad year, but like it was above career average, but like 16 mil, man. That's breaking the bank. Whatever. 16 mil. That's so dumb. If you wow. Okay. First base, it's looking like it's going to be split between those two unless we go like Trey Mancini, which I actually don't hate that at all. I got to see what Jeter Downs and Marcelo Meyer. They're probably like one more year. Jeter Downs actually, like they're really close. They're almost identical in stats. But I feel like maybe we give the year to Jeter Downs, see how he does, right? We let Marcelo Meyer develop another year, and then we call it Marcelo Meyer, right? Otherwise, they're both just going to develop for the year, and then maybe we just find a second baseman to hold it off for a season and see who does best in the minors. That's what we could do. Do we have anybody that could hold it down for a year that did well? Jace Peterson, that is that guy. He is the guy. That's a super cheap signing. That's exactly what I'm looking for. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Matt Duffy played. He was really good. We could go Matt Duffy route. Let's see who else. Brock Holt, Matt Carpenter. Anybody else? Let's see. Iglesias, I'm out on. We just had him. He didn't do well. Now center field. Like Kevin Kiermaier rings just like all sorts of bells for the Red Sox with that crazy glove out there. But I feel like we're gonna add a little bit of oomph into this team. I feel like Ketel Marte. Is it realistic? Maybe. You gotta think about it. Plays multiple positions. Just 29, so he's still fairly young. Gives you flexibility with your outfield too. I don't see why not. Unless you go like Margot, Benintendi, bring him back, and then you move Verdugo to center. But are they gonna bring back Benintendi after they traded him away? You know what I mean? Mitch, probably not. Joey Gallo, no. Judge, no. Out of all the options, looking at what's available, I feel like Marte makes the most sense. Unless you go Benintendi. But I feel like you burnt that bridge when you traded him away, right? How did he do with the Royals this year? Let's take a look. I'm going to base it off of how he did in real life. If he did well, sure. If not, we're out. Let's see. How did he do this year? It was okay. It was below career average. I don't know if I'm in on that. It is super cheap. And it's a lot. It's half the price of what Marte wants. But we don't really need another lefty. Lefty. Then Ketel Marte with the switch hitter. That's technically another lefty, isn't it? Ooh, now I'm... Ketel Marte. Andrew Benintendi. Oh, I gotta think. All right, I thought about this. And Benintendi, maybe bring him back. Could make sense. Margot and like Kiermaier, for some reason, seems like a Heim Bloom move. I don't know what it is about it. It just seems like something that like he'd be like, you know what? I could see it working, And actually looking at the 90 games he had, it's not terrible. So how much does he want? 11 mil? What's our outfield situation looking like? We do have Franchi as like a fourth choice outfielder. But like with the money we have, and if we're trying to win, I feel like you go after someone like a Ketel Marte. I think you give him 6 years, you throw him the money. He wants 26 mil. You match what he's looking for 25. Let's give him 26 exactly. We'll say, hey, this is what you get. You like it, take it. If not, we'll go somewhere else. I mean, he's coming off a 310 year with the 372 on base percentage. I think that's what we need. And also that gives us a leadoff hitter, which is also what we need. We slot him in center field. He's our leadoff guy. Now we find a 1-year second baseman until Jeter Downs / Marcelo Meyer's ready. And then catcher, which we're going after Christian Vasquez for a stupid reason because there's no other good catchers. And I know Mike Zunino is going to want 9 mil. How many games did he play? 60 games? Oh, no. I'm going after Zunino. 2 years. 2 years, 11 mil. That's okay. I lied. 2 years, 13 mil. That's still better than what Vasquez wants. And he's going to give us a little bit more power. I'll give him 2 years, 12.5 mil. How about that? How does that sound? I'll make it 13. I'll make it 13. Does that put us in first? How old's Vasquez? 32. They're the same age. He's gonna probably go down in rating a little bit more. Let's see. 12 home runs in 110 games. So in half the game, Zunino put up really similar numbers. I feel like Zunino makes more sense. I nothing against Vasquez, but I just feel like Zunino makes more sense. And then Trey Mancini, I really want to bring him in. He's a really good option for us, but I think it's Bobby Dahlbeck's full season to prove if he can do it or not. And then Tristan Casas is waiting for his shot if it doesn't work out. So I might just bring in a couple bench guys to go after just in case we need those guys. But for right now, I feel like we're looking pretty solid. How much does he want? 5 mil? You know what? Sure. That just seems like a super cheap deal to pick up anyways. Because I'm looking at my other options here. They don't look good unless I go after Justin Turner. But something about Justin Turner in a Red Sox uniform doesn't make a lot of sense. So I think we've kind of done the moves that we're gonna do. So Marte, Zunino, Jace Peterson, Duffy. And then we didn't decide on a pitcher, did we? Oh yeah, Joe Ross. Do we go after like a Musgrove? Is a Musgrove a... He had a 3.7 ERA last year. What about like 3 years? 22 mil. We still have a stupid amount of money. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. You know what? Let's see what happens. So we get Zunino. Muncy goes to the Twins. Contreras joins his brother in Atlanta. Syndergaard goes to the Phillies. Lugo. Did we get everybody? Nola goes to the Dodgers. What? J-Ram goes to the... How am I supposed to beat the Dodgers? All right, Marte. It looks like we're out on Musgrove. It looks like we got beat by the Padres. 5 years. I can't do 5 years. I can't do 5 years. I was 3 years or nothing. So we're out on him. We're the only offer for Marte. So pitcher-wise, do we go with Eovaldi? He's going to continue to drop. Maybe like a 1-year deal because he's been good and he can be like a long reliever or a back half rotation guy for us. For 9 mil, I feel like he's probably one of the safer options. Unless we went with Trevor Williams, but then at the same time, I'm still not fully in on Trevor Williams. So let's go with those moves. And what do we get here? Ketel Marte signs. That's huge. Joey Gallo goes to the White Sox. That's not a bad signing for the White Sox. I actually don't hate that move at all. And now, you know, like we could go Eovaldi 3 and then maybe like Joe Ross here. Pavetta's struggled the last 2 years, so maybe we just go something like this. Bullpen, I think, is still pretty strong. Lineup is really strong. And, I mean, we could even bring in another pitcher if we really wanted to. So, I like the team. I'm going to leave it there for moves if I go after anybody. All right, so I've extended Devers' contract. We're going to lose Barnes, Eovaldi after the season. And realistically, we're kind of in a tough spot moving forward. I mean, we do have, like, Rizzo, Martinez, Peterson, Weisler, Whistler, Plawecki. I brought in Plawecki. We got Duffy. And a couple other guys that are starting to hit free agency soon. So we should still have like a flexible budget. Like we should be okay. We just got to be a little bit smarter with our money moving forward. I felt like splurging 1 year to keep us competing, keep us doing well, keep us in the hunt for a World Series and also still improving us. So, you know, like Eovaldi, Joe Ross, like I feel like same, if not a little bit better than what we currently had or what we had previously, I should say. Mata will give him a shot. We've got Pivetta. We also have Thad Ward down here. I brought in Vladimir Gutierrez, so I'm going to throw him here. I brought in Tyler McGill as well. And Seabold over Feliz. I believe that's what I want. Yes, I do. So now we've got a couple other relievers that we're kind of moving around, seeing how they do. But realistically, like we just need some of these younger guys to do well and improve. You know, I feel like our bullpen's pretty strong. I think we're doing solid. I think pitching rotation's probably set. I feel like we're pretty good there. I brought back Rizzo. We've got Plawecki. This is our bench currently. I do still have like Tristan Casas potentially coming up next year. Jeter Downs. Jace Peterson's there. We've got Valenzuela and a couple other youngsters. Marcelo Meyer, Mejia. Blum isn't going to get any time, but we've got these two. So let's see what Blaze Jordan. Let's see what happens. I like our lineup. You know, getting Zunino, the power. He's 10 contact versus righties seems really, really low. Like that seems excessive. That seems a little. Let's at least bump it up to like 40. Like, 10? Like does he just not hit the ball? Like, he's not going to improve much more. He only has B potential, so if anything, he's going to go down. But for what, 13 mil, it's going to give us similar results to what Vasquez did. And I feel like that's an okay move for us. Rizzo, Dahlbeck, we've got LeCastro, we've got Jace Peterson as well. Matt Duffy hits righty, so he kind of helps us out at second base. We've got these two guys. Whoever like explodes in rating is probably going to get the start. I do still want to bring up Jeter Downs potentially next year, and then we'll see what goes on with the rest of the team. So I'm at the deadline. I'm going to pick up Danny Duffy. I know he's going down, but again, kind of like a Mike Minor. I'm just looking for him to help us out in the bullpen a little bit. Outside of that, I mean, I feel like we're doing fairly well. Like, he's basically going to take over for, I think it was Darwinzon, and then I'll send Darwinzon down. I think we've got one more option on him. Yes, we do. Okay, cool. And then starters, they're looking okay. Our starters are struggling a little bit. What I'm going to do here is I'm just going to move Pivetta and Mata, and then everybody else is doing good enough. I feel like we're winning games. We're doing fine. Players are developing. And then offensively, what I've done is I've called up Jeter Downs to play second base for us. I've moved Duffy to first. Dahlbeck's just struggling. It just isn't it. I'm going to let Casas, who is also kind of struggling in AAA right now, I'm going to let him develop a little bit more, but he is going to be our first baseman next year. And then I've called out Marcelo Meyer to play shortstop in AAA. And then realistically, Marcelo Meyer will probably be getting some time next year. So that's kind of what my thinking is. And then next year will probably be the last year, I think. Depends. We've also got Mejia, who's tearing it up right now, and I don't know what to do with him. And he's still only 19, so we got to figure out what we're going to do there. So let's see. I mean, like I said, the team's still doing well. Zunino's struggling, but like offensively, 20 home runs. I'm pretty happy with that. And then Jarren Duran's kind of having a little bit of like a sophomore slump, so hopefully he can break out of that and do well. So let's leave it there. Let's see how it finishes off for the season. But right now, we're one game out in the division. Things are looking good. All right, so it looks like the Blue Jays are going to be a little bit of a pain in our... Oh, wait. Who won the division? The Yankees by a game? What game was the reason? This one right here. And then this game against the Nationals. Oh, the series against the Nationals. That's really what it was. Because, look, we swept the Yankees. Oh, man, if we didn't lose that series against the Nationals, we're good. We're good. Anyways, let's go take a look. So one game out. That's a tough series right there. Okay, tough end of the season. That would have been a good, like, think about that little playoff race towards the end of the year. 4 games separating those 3 teams. Whoo. But now looking at the National League, you can kind of see who's taking over there. League leaders, we've got Chris Sale with strikeouts and Bogarts with triples and hits. Vladdy and Brian Anderson, batting average leaders. Any other big stats? Semien, triples. Brian Reynolds with 13. Wow. 42 home runs for Josh Bell and 52 for Vlad. All right. Awards. Vladdy back-to-back MVP. Trout finished second. Josh Bell. What? Okay. Jacob deGrom and Rodon. Let's see. Any other names that are a little interesting? Reyes Moranta's an interesting one. That normally doesn't happen. Julio Rodriguez and Henry Davis are your rookies of the year. Okay. This got messed up. Let me just fix it. Let me get it ready for the postseason. All right, let's take a look at the team. Brian Mata struggled. He definitely did. He's still only 22. So, like, I still feel like we've got a good prospect on our hand here. So, we're good there. Vladimir Gutierrez, we signed him in the offseason. Came in, ate some innings. Not too bad. He did well. I like to see that. Taylor did well. Darwinzon struggled a little bit, and it's just because his control and walks per 9 are so low. There's that. Danny Duffy was a good little pickup for us towards the end of the year. Will I bring him back? Probably not. But solid. Whitlock's been great for us. And then Matt Barnes definitely turned it around from last year. Still blew 8 saves. And we'll have to figure out what we're going to do with the closer position for next year. Sale was great. Tanner Houck was great. Eovaldi, not terrible. Pretty comparable to what he did. He did allow a couple more runs, but overall, again, a player we can work with. Joe Ross, I think, is going to be a good signing for us. Pivetta, potential went down. That's a little difficult to see. So it's probably going to be Brian Mata in this spot moving forward. And then we'll need a 3 because we do have McGill. He looks okay. We do have Thad Ward. Again, looks okay. But are they the caliber of pitcher we need right now? That's going to be something that we need to figure out. Jace Peterson didn't get any MLB time, which is a little interesting because I called him up in September and he just didn't get an at bat. You know, Rizzo was okay, was realistically just a backup, and that was the whole point of having him on the team. What else? LeCastro, he does become a free agent. I don't know if I'll bring him back. Like, it's not a bad year at all. Like, definitely way better than last year, but I just don't know what I'll do with him. Arroyo definitely improved from last season. Big improvement. Becomes a free agent. If I can get him on another cheap deal to be a platoon guy for us, I'll bring him back. And then now looking at our starters, Ketel Marte, solid. Great season. Looking for our leadoff guy. That's him. Bogarts was unbelievable. JD Martinez dropped off a little bit. We'll look for a new DH. Devers was really good. Zunino, 22 home runs, 55 RBIs. But you know what? I'm looking for the power numbers with him. Duffy, on base machine. Jarren Duran, potential went down. Really? Man, that's tough to see. Yikes. Verdugo, way better than last year. And then Jeter Downs, still growing. So, you know what? We'll rock like this for the postseason. We'll throw... Ooh, first base. Let's go him there. What are we missing here? Nothing. All right, postseason time. One game against the Blue Jays. We have an extra guy on the roster. Okay, so let's go with maybe... I guess we send down Jeter Downs. And then we'll change the team up a little bit. So that means... How do we do this? Who hits righties well? No one really. I guess we go like this. Yeah. All right, that's the only change. Against the Blue Jays, we lose 4-2. All right, off-season time. Who wins the World Series? What do we got? White Sox again. Okay, let's do one more season. Win or lose. I feel like we've built a good team here. I just feel like we're getting a little unlucky. I don't think I'm going to bring him back. I don't think I'm going to bring back anybody. Let's see. Anybody improving? Maybe Jace Peterson. But then we have Christian Arroyo, you know, on arbitration. So, Barnes, what does he want? 6 mil? Let's do one more year. He was pretty good this year. I feel like there's no real reason to replace him. Let's do that. And then everybody else can walk. I think it's time to really start changing a couple players and figure out what we want to do with this team. Let's figure out how much money we have. Let's build this team up. All right, looking through free agency, I definitely said I wanted a pitcher. I know I do. I want a starter. Even if Mata goes here, we still need one. And then bullpen needs a little bit of help from what I'm noticing. I did sign Joe Harvey last year, and he looks okay. He like actually developed quite nicely. So I might call him up, give him his shot. But like the rest of the options we have just aren't really good. So with a decent amount of money, I think we can get a starter. We could get a reliever. And then I want someone that just adds a little bit of power to the lineup. It's just, I don't really know who that is. Like Cooper, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. CJ Cron versus lefties could be a shout just for a season. I'm looking for a DH. Rhys Hoskins, I'm trying to give Tristan Casas, and I just feel like bringing in him doesn't make sense. Scope versus lefties could be the move as well. I mean, I want Winker. We just have way too many lefties. Like, I think we only have like 2 righties in our lineup. Let me check it. 1, 2. We have 2 righties in our lineup. I need a righty. I just do. And so Rhys Hoskins is probably the best option that we have out of the ones that are available. Teoscar, I don't know. So I just feel like, let's see. Yeah, I just feel like maybe CJ Cron, Garrett Cooper, or Jonathan Scope. Let's see, how much does Scope want for a season? 14 mil. What does CJ Cron want for 1 year? 8 mil. Garrett Cooper, he just hits lefties well, and that's what I'm looking at. I'm seeing that he wants about 6 mil too. Essentially, like, I could play the matchups and just get guys that do kind of well against lefties and then do well against righties, and then just play those matchups. So maybe Scope wanted so much money, and I can't do that. It's just not worth it, especially when I want a starter. So let me get my starter, let me get my reliever, and let me see what I can do. All right, these are my offers. You guys can see them. Flaherty, Holder, Crone, and Peterson. That's what I'm going after. Everything else is set in stone. I'm not going to change anything else. Flaherty, we get him. What else? Pivetta goes to Baltimore. That's fine. Michael Velez goes to Pittsburgh. And I think we got everybody that we wanted. I think that's it, right? Yeah, that's it. We've got it. So CJ Cron's our DH. And I think I need someone that comes off the bench that hits righties well. I can find that later. I'm just going to leave it there. That's our off season. I'll see you guys at the start of next year. All right, final season. Whatever happens, happens. I feel like we've built a good team here. You can see Flaherty's come in. We've got Gutierrez here. Probably going to turn to one of these guys if things go poorly. Bullpen's looking a little weak, but at the same time, this is the AAA squad. I mean, Garrett Whitlock's been unbelievable. We've got Barnes, we've got Holder. I honestly think this is a good enough team to do some damage. I mean, you look at the offense as well. Franchi here, probably not the best solution. Maybe we go Verdugo in the 2 spot. Something like that, just to kind of break up some of these lefties that we have. Maybe something like that. It's still a string of 3 lefties. Maybe something like that. I don't know. That's the issue with this team. We've got a lot of lefties. But then when we move to the lefty lineup over here, you know, you got Crone. We've got Marcelo Myers probably going to step out. Tony, actually, hold on. We'll go like that. Do I want to just give Marcelo Meyer the starting job right off the rip? Maybe I could have just used Arroyo as the DH. I feel like Marcelo Meyer might be the move. We'll see. We'll see how he does against... Let's see. What about Casas? He doesn't really hit lefties well. Arroyo could play first, so maybe we just go like that. Something like that versus lefties. Yeah, maybe like that. Something like that. We'll figure it out, but this is the team. We are currently ranked 6th. This is the squad. It's got to be, right? See you guys at the end of the year. I'm going to trade Franchi to the Twins for Bo Burrows. Super cheap contract. I could get Dobnik. He's sucking. Bork actually looks pretty good too. I'm kind of interested in Bork now. Ooh. I feel like Bo Burrows is a little bit more attainable just because of the super cheap contract and everything. But like Bork looks pretty good too. What's the difference here? Honestly, not much. Just the potential. Let's see. I'm going to go Burrows. I feel like he's just a little bit more attainable. I'll give him a right fielder that they're looking for. And that actually allows me a way to send somebody down who's struggling. I've already sent down Hernandez. Maybe Taylor for now. Actually, who did I just bring in? Bo Burrows. He's a righty. I need the lefty up. So maybe Harvey for now. And then I'm going to call up a outfielder. Kristen Stewart's been killing it in the minors this year. Is he the guy that I call up? I know he got signed in real life by the Red Sox. I also kind of want to give Mejia a shot. So let's just see how Mejia does off the bench. Or DH. All right, let's see how that goes. And then in the bullpen, we have Bo Burrows now. And also called up Curtis Terry, who I believe was a first-round pick. This is where we're at the at the deadline. I'm gonna leave it there. Just that bullpen pickup was what I needed, so I'm gonna leave it there. Won the division 93 and 69. I'm gonna fix the roster, and then we're gonna look through everything that we need to. All right, we're good to go. Standings wise, won by 6.5 games, which is awesome to see. And I think that's kind of it. You know, league leaders. Whatever. I didn't even see what it was. I'm assuming it's some offensive categories. Maybe not, actually. Oh, okay. So pitching categories. So clearly our pitchers were our best asset of the team. Awards. We've got a Cy Young for Chris Sale and a Gold Glove for Zunino. Seager is your MVP with Eloy Jimenez now on the Angels. Yeah, Chris Sale had a really good year. It looks like Castellanos on the other side winning MVP. Woodruff. Clevenger, I almost traded for him, and he had a Cy Young season this year. Okay. Chris Sale's there. Nicky Lopez is your batting title, along with JD Martinez, JD Davis, Sam and Hendricks as your relievers of the year. And then Austin Martin and Bailey Falter are your rookies of the year. Justin Casas is there. He had an okay year. 21 home runs is not bad. Just struck out a lot. That was really the big thing with him. And then I think for the postseason, I would like to have him on the team. But then at the same time, maybe not. Yeah, okay. We'll we'll rock with him in the postseason. We'll rock with him in the postseason and throw him in there. There it is. All right, let's take a look at the team, how we did. Jeter Downs, 10 games. Not great. Again, CJ Cron as the lefty hitter was killing it. And then who else? Tony Kemp I signed. He was okay. I was hoping he would have done a little bit better. You know who did really well, though? Him. He killed it off the bench once we called him up in September. Probably should have called him up earlier in the year. And then looking at the rest of the team, you can see everyone's starting to go down a little bit in the offensive categories. Not Bogarts, though. Bogarts killed it. Devers killed it. Duran had a bounce back year, which is, I expected that from him, and I love to see it. Zunino still putting up good offensive numbers, and that's what I'm looking for. Just home run numbers, power numbers. Casas we've looked at. Mejia, I called him up in September. These are his numbers. He actually looked like a solid hitter. He's not going to bring the power, but he's going to get on base for us. And then Marcelo Meyer was okay. Again, you look at his numbers. There's plenty of room to grow. This guy's going to be the second baseman for the future. So this is the team. It's all sorted out. Whatever happens, happens in this rebuild. Boom, boom. Are the White Sox going to sweep us? They aren't. Joe Ross, though, it was a good pickup for us, but I'm going to go Sale instead on a short rest. It's got to be him. He ends up losing. What was that? 2 days rest. Burrows ends up losing it, though, after he goes, 4 innings or so? What happened? How many innings did we get out of Sale? That's what I want to know. We got 5 innings. He allowed 3 runs. So, I mean, we were tied when he left the game. It was Burrows that lost it. That's tough. That's tough. I feel like we should have done better with the team that we had. I'll take a look at the White Sox because they've been absolutely killing it. What do they have? Anderson, Robert, Moncada, Schwarber, who has been okay for them. You know, Bryant, that's a decent pickup. 36 home runs this year, and he's been good. They also have Joey Gallo. I can see why they're doing fairly well now. And Jorge Polanco. Yeah, this is a team. What does their pitching staff look like? How are they affording all these players? What do we have going on here? I mean, yeah, I see why their bullpen's nutty as well. I can see why they've been dominating the league, and that's tough to lose it there, but I feel like we definitely built a good team. I think we kept it pretty realistic as well. I mean, the only player that we really brought in was Zunino and Marte, and then most of the players that we brought in were bench pieces. Pitching-wise, we changed it up a little bit, but Sale, Houck, Mata got a chance. You know, bullpen shaken up a little bit, but that's tough that we didn't win it there. It's tough we didn't win it there. So who's going to be our World Series winner? The Brewers. The Brewers have been good too. What do they got going on? Let's see here. Wong, Mitchell, Yelich, Adames. I mean, those two are going to be good. Narvaez is always good. That's a pretty good team. I'm assuming the pitching is just the difference, though, when you look at it. Burns, Woodruff, Peralta, bullpen. This guy looks insane. I remember this name. This is the draft from the very first year. He was very good. I passed on him, and I went with the left fielder instead. But yeah, I mean, their pitching is just different compared to what we have. And I think that the bullpen, maybe, I think our offense kind of let us down a little bit too. Yeah, basically anybody below the 4 spot just fell apart. So that's not good to see. And then pitching wise, Sale? Sale was the only one that, yeah. And then the bullpen kind of let things slip away. Let's see here. 1-0, 8-3, 5-3. I mean, yeah, I don't know. That's tough. That's tough. I feel like we built a really good team though, but that's where it ends. The realistic Red Sox rebuild. Sadly, we couldn't get past the ALCS, which is where we got last year, not this year. But I still think we built a really good team. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thumbs up if you did. I know we only did, 3 years? I believe that's what we did, 3 years. Let me double check. Is that what we did? Yeah, we did 3 years. Because we lost in the ALCS. We lost in the wild card last year. And then the ALDS. So yeah, 3 years. I felt like we built a good team. We let some prospects get involved. It's not all about the World Series. It's about building a fun team that was a little bit different. I think we did that. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thumbs up if you did. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and enjoyed the content. And of course, in the comment section, let me know your surprise team for this next baseball season. I feel like this was a World Series team. I definitely do. I feel like we got screwed out of it a little bit. But I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.